What's going on, everybody? Today I'll be bringing you my review for the Deuce Season 3, Episode 4. This officially marks the halfway point in Season 3. If you don't already know, this is the last season of the Deuce, and I have been reviewing it from the very beginning. I also have a review up for all of Season 2 if you're new to the channel and you haven't seen those, or if you're new to the channel and you haven't seen my previous reviews for all the other episodes, go check them out. They're really good. And just a fair warning, if you are new to the channel, I do give spoilers away in my reviews, so you have been warned, and let's just get right into it. So this episode, really picked right up where the last episode, all these episodes kind of have picked up where the last one, is constantly leaving off. Candy is looking for her actors for her film, while also dating the new dude. Abby is still, dating that girl, and you can really start seeing that Vince is getting really jealous, but at the same time, he still is looking at, his ex-wife, which is a little, that whole scenario keeps throwing me off, just because I know they have an open relationship, but, at times it seems like Vince wants it just be him and Abby, but at the same time, he still doesn't. It's really weird. Frankie is still, not sharing his movie business, with Rudy, and he's also pissing off that one dude about the whole coke. He gets confronted on his birthday about that, Frankie being Frankie, because he doesn't like it when people bitch at him, especially if you're the only one bitching at him. The house calls are still doing really good for the parlor, which of course that leads to, we see at the end, something like one of the people that the two girls are with, he ends up choking while eating lobster while they blow him, shit like that. And Black Frankie comes in, does the, not hysterectomy, but where, I think it might be hysterectomy, where they cut the throat open, they try to get the blood to come out and shit like that. He's doing that when security comes, so he gets arrested, so that's going to cause a whole bunch of problems leading forward. Vince, Lori comes back to New York to audition for an actual film. She runs into Mike, and then that leads her to Vince, and then Vince, the whole, her and Vince have always had, this chemistry, but they never really acted on it, and they finally go to act on it. And Vince being Vince, after saying she's not a whore, she's not this, and this, Vince is being safe because there is the AIDS epidemic going around New York right now. And, he pulls out a rubber, and even if she's just blowing him, he just wants to take that precaution. And she gets offended and is like, you can fuck me, but you have to do it without a rubber. So that basically leads to, she basically, in that sense, she took it as he is just confirming the fact of that she is a whore. And that's not how he meant it, and I knew that's not how he meant it, and I wish that she would have seen that's not how he meant it, because you can easily see that, he doesn't think she's a whore, it's just he is being safe. I mean, honestly, you should always have safe sex, no matter if you're a whore or not, if you've been around or not. You should always just take that precaution, and yeah, that's how she took it, and I really hated the fact that that's how she took it, and now it's done got to, she finally got up and she sang, and that didn't really, it went good, but she didn't see it going well, and so she's basically at the point of, I'm just good at fucking, so she's finally hit that realization that, especially that Cece was trying to drill into her, and I fucking hate that she finally came to that realization. So I'm really hoping that throughout the next 4 episodes, that doesn't change, but at the same time, I don't think she's going to survive to the end. I don't see it. Also, the one girl went back with her father. That's how it opened, and they said they can never go home. That's the title of the episode, and they said it in the very beginning, and partially that's true. I mean, these girls, they're never going to be looked at the same. Society is never going to look at them the same. So if you're not around Vince or Frankie or people in this world, you're not just going to be looked at like a normal person. And that led into, Abby's whole movement, women against porn, and Candy going to speak to these women, and the whole deal escalating to where they aren't wanting to really see the whole truth, that not like they see that Candy is, she's done well, but like at the same time they're just bombarding her, not listening to her side of the story. They're just trying to force their opinions on her, and really a lot of it shows today in the society that we're in today, with the political and stuff like that. People aren't wanting to listening to each other's sides of the story or sides of their beliefs and discuss them maturely and accurately, and just have an open ear to listen to someone else's side of their beliefs. And this show really depicts that really well. And Candy is trying to be rational and like, I came here to talk to y'all, and she was looking forward to talking to them, getting a different perspective, while them also giving her perspective a chance. And it didn't go that way. And I love this show for that fact that they depicted that, because it just shows that we do, in a society and as people, we have to talk openly and not be biased or not try to force our views on other people. And I know this is getting into some really treacherous waters, but I'm just saying that's what I love about this show. Also, the fact of, how it ends. And really nothing has truly spoiled this, except for, I will say this, I love the scene when Vince, and this is what really made me realize that Vince was, two scenes in this that really made me think that really shows Vince is getting jealous of their whole relation, Abby and that girl's relationship. One, he walks in on them in the bedroom, fucking, basically, and he has an awkward conversation with them. And then two, whenever she brings him the cupcake with the candle in it, and she's like, I hope your wish comes true, and he's like, do you really? That right there showed me that, I truly do think that Vince wants to start to settle down now as he gets older, as the years goes by. And I've been saying this for the past couple reviews, and I think I even said in the last review for last season, you could start to see that escalate. And I think by the end of this, it's really going to come to a head, especially with what happened at the very end of this. Big spoiler ahead. Frankie died. And I have been saying this from the start of this season, that I didn't think Frankie was going to live throughout this show, because he's always been that lovable screw up, and he's always been like screwing over the wrong people, or not giving a shit about what other people think, and not listening to their side. He's one of those people that, if you say there's a problem, but 10 other people have the same exact product, like it happened with the one dude who's coming up into a Gambino family, I think is what that dude's role is. He's coming up into that whole Gambino family, and Frankie's selling him coke, and 10 other people have that supply, and it's not affecting them, but this person is accusing Frankie of ripping him off. And it's not like, Frankie just doesn't say it's true, and he even's like, they don't complain, so why are you complaining? And then fuck you and get out. I'm not taking this shit anymore. And that led to him getting shot and ultimately dying, which I always felt like was going to be his downfall. I always thought Rudy was going to have him killed, but I don't think he did. But at the same time, I could be wrong about that. But moving forward, my speculations is that Abby and Vince are going to ultimately probably split up, just because of the fact of Vince is probably about to go onto a rampage trying to figure out who the fuck killed his brother. He's going to blame Rudy, but he's ultimately never going to truly trust Rudy again, more than likely. Even though Rudy has given him all of his dreams, I don't think he's ever truly going to trust him anymore. The brothel, I feel like that whole alcohol deal is about to end, or I don't see Black Frankie getting out. Lori, I'm hoping that she pulls through and she ultimately comes to the realization that she can do other things and she's not just a whore. She can get out of that life like Candy did. I'm hoping she can do that. I'm hoping she goes and works for Candy ultimately. Get away from these people that keep telling her she's only good at this thing, and like they ultimately want her to fill out any type of dreams that they want, and I want her to go work for Candy and get behind the camera. I'm hoping that's what she truly does, because to me that's what I think she needs to do. And then, you know, with everything else, it's kind of up in the air. I do think Candy's going to make her movie. I think that Vince is about to go down the rabbit hole. And other than that, I don't know where this season is going to end, to be honest. But we have 4 episodes left. So, also, one other thing, the whole scene with Paul and his boyfriend, even though it wasn't in it long, I felt like I still don't quite understand. Like, they do this where they might have one quick little clip of Paul and his boyfriend, but then that's it for the whole episode, and it never makes sense. Like, yeah, his boyfriend did that soap opera in the end, but that's really all it showed. So, for that fact, and I quite still don't think it really had any relevance to this episode and the story moving forward, or at least for this episode, with every plot line and storyline they were trying to cover in this episode, I don't think it really had a place, because it just kind of shows up and then disappears, and that's the end of it. So, I'm going to give The Deuce Season 3, Episode 4, a 4.8, just because of that one episode. That one little scene, I don't quite get it. I guess it shows into what they're doing in this world, but I feel like if you're gonna have these characters, and it's not going, like, at least 2 or 3 scenes, and it's just that one scene and that's it, and it doesn't really have anything drastic in it, I didn't see a point. It could have came later, or it could have came, or it couldn't have came at all. You know, they could just brought that up, like, oh yeah, he did the soap opera. I don't know. There's other ways of doing this. I'm sure they have a reason for it being here, but for this episode solely alone, I don't see the point in it. So, that's why I'm giving it a 4.8. Other than that, this show is phenomenal. I am loving this season. I can't wait to see how this show ends and wraps up. But, anyways, guys, thank you for watching. If you have any, things you want to talk about down in the comments, how you think this season's going to end. Do you like the show? Who's your favorite actor? I also like the fact that James Franco got to direct this episode, and I like the fact that his reasoning is because if one of his favorite characters he's ever played is going to die, he needs to be the one to film it. I love that reasoning. I'm glad that they let him have this episode to basically send off one of his characters. I thought that was great. So, yeah, 4.8. Comment down below, let me know who your favorite character is, all this other stuff. And in the description, I'll have links to all my social media platforms for the channel. You can click on over there to follow me for updates, personal information, stuff like that. Things going off in my life and about the channel. Also, if you haven't checked out the trailer that I released on my YouTube channel, go check that out. I'll have a little annotation up here probably about now, more than likely. I did this for school. I'm really proud of it and how it turned out. Please go check it out and let me know what you thought of it down in that comment section. And anyways, guys, if you like this video, hit that thumbs up button, because it really does help me out. I'll share it with all your friends, family, everyone that you know, and any people that you don't know. And hit that subscribe button for more awesome content like this. The little bell icon to be notified when I upload. And also, I will be reviewing The Deuce every Monday night. So stay tuned to that, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.